50 back in February of 2016. There's a look at the home of the 49ers, Levi Stadium in Santa Clara. Now the kicker, Brandon McManus, about ready to get us started. And we are underway from Santa Clara. And that's not going to be returned, as so many kicking teams elect to do. This is past the landing zone, and we'll start at the 30. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. First carry for Christian McCaffrey. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
And they get him behind the line, so that short gain on 1st down quickly negated. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
Well, that play was over before it even got started. Thanks for nothing, huh? How about that? That sets up a very difficult 3rd down call now.
19 Lions. Trap 60.
Now Purdy. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Quay Walker came through to make the sack.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. Love going to break the huddle, lead the Packers up here 1st and 10 at their own 21. They'll try and start this drive in the air. That one caught downfield by Watson. And all the way down to the 37. It's a big play there for Green Bay. 42 yards.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent game.
Here's a 2nd and 5.
Let's go.
Once again, it's Jacobs. And he's going to have this pretty close to a 1st down as the tackle is made at the Niners' 28. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down.
Here we go.
Love now. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
You absolutely have to have this early on, right? 3rd and short, they elect to throw for it, and that's normal NFL football. They're going to throw on 3rd and short, but you've got to hit it, don't you?
Yeah, in the 1st quarter, like you said, to set the tone, can't connect there. They go with Jacobs, and I'm not sure he got there. Did they stop him? They did. He needed a yard. He didn't get anything. And the 49ers are going to get the football back.
70 Lions. 7 Pirates. 7 Pirates. Take over.
Here's Purdy. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Lucas Van Ness getting 3 there to bring him down. Impressive individual effort there. No one was going to stop him around the edge.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And that's why if you play in a 4-3 base and you're a defensive end, that's why you get the big bucks. They count on you to do everything. Defend the run and, of course, get to the quarterback.
He'll fire this deep for Ayuk. Oh, his first throw of the game going to be intercepted. Picked off by Eric Stokes. And he'll get this back across the midfield stripe and down to the 47-yard line. Boy, that one was in the air for an agonizingly long time.
Just begging to be picked off, wasn't it? It's one thing if you're throwing a ball like that, trying to throw someone open or lead them into an area. But that ball needed to be thrown with a lot more conviction. As a result, it's an easy interception.
Down. Ready?
Following the interception, Love. This complete to the tight end, Tucker Kraft. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. 17 yards on the play there as the Packers have the first down as well. They will run out of the gun with Jacobs. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Trey Greenlaw in there on the tackle. Here's 2nd and 10.
Ready.
Love. Completed out left to Dobbs. And he's finally taken down, and it's a big gain there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter.
Man, that was an interception. That bullshit-ass pass.
EA Sports. The Packers with the football here to begin the second quarter as they go to work on a 1st and goal. Here's Jacobs. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Here we go.
One more time with Jacobs. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
The kick by McManus is good. And the Packers are off to a 3-0 lead. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. They're still in search of an initial 1st down as they come up here 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. 2nd straight drive now here, Charles, that have ended with an interception.
And I just wonder, because I don't think it's going to rattle him necessarily, but I also wonder if it's going to unnerve him a little bit. Does it lead to another one, or does he find a way to pull it together and become sharp again?
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. That whole thing was thrown off track thanks to the defense of Fred Warner. Really nice play. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
Come on, set.
Here's Love. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Tucker Kraft, 42 yards. And the Packers are able to stretch out their lead.
For a big tight end, he can sure move like a slot receiver when he gets a head of steam going. And as a defensive back, you've got a big decision to make when he's moving like that.
Extra point from McManus is good. And the lead grows to 10-0.
49ers nothing. Brandon McManus set to kick off.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
First and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Let's go. Come 19. Come 19. Ready.
Purdy now to throw. That's caught downfield by Kittle. And he's finally taken down, but not before he reaches the 14. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Set up. 18 Cardinal. 18 Cardinal.
Up the gut, McCaffrey. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
Coaches talk about it all the time. Players talk about it as well. Excellent job staying disciplined in coverage and making that stop. Inside the red zone, every stop like that could be preventing a possible touchdown.
A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, Brandon, we see why it's a team game there, because there's a sigh of relief that they just released defensively. If he's able to get that one away, that's likely a touchdown. But instead, that pressure from the front got to him and forced the incompletion.
You're right. He had him open, just a split second too late on the release. Well, the good news, at least they won't take that goose egg into the locker room. Maybe a little something to build on.
Yeah, it hasn't been the greatest of first halves for them, has it? But at least now, as you mentioned, they put some points on the board. And it's been funny in our experience watching games. Sometimes something as little as a field goal can change the fortunes of a team, and they could come out and look real sharp in the second half.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of sixes back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football.
Here we go. Here we go. Set.
Here's a handoff to Jacobs running left. And a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. Now 2nd and 5.
Set, ready.
They'll run right here with Jacobs. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside. This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. Out of the shotgun, it's Love. Now this thrown deep for Kraft. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. It's Jair Brown who's got it. And the 49ers will have the football as this is taken up past the 30. So they tried to take the deep shot there, but this defense up to the task.
And a lot of times when you air a ball out like this, if it does get intercepted, there's going to be a lot of space out there to set up a return. And remember, you've got 5 big offensive linemen out there playing on their feet in open space. Not a skill most of them possess that allows.
It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, 49ers. Brandon Ayuk as the first half is winding down. And the Niners have a chance to tie the game here in the final seconds of the half.
Well, this is exactly where I expect teams to take a shot. Right after a turnover, you count on the defense being a little bit jumbled coming out on the field, maybe catch them back on their heels, and that's exactly what they did there. They threw it downfield and really created a big play.
Yeah, you said jumbled. They were the definition of jumbled defensively. One play and into the end zone. Moody good with the extra point, and that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And we will not have a run back here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 20-yard line. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively offensive. And got his man complete. And all the way down to the 29. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. Letting one go deep for the end zone. Oh, and that is incomplete.
And that's where you're counting on a receiver's size being an advantage. They were hoping he could go up the top of a smaller DB and haul that one in. A good thought, but that time it didn't work out.
2nd and 10, we're all knotted up at 10, but it appears that may change soon. Only question is, will they have to settle for 3? Oh, the turnover fest continues. Here's another interception. Picked up by Diamador Lenore, and he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And they got to be pleased with this. He brings it all the way up to the 40-yard line.
What's always interesting about situations like this is that in both locker rooms, both staffs were preaching a quick start. One of them actually got it done.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. It's a tie football game here. What do you think, Charles, the message was at halftime?
Well, I think that they probably just looked at things and said, we're fortunate that this is a tie game. No need to panic, no need to change a whole lot. We didn't play anything close to our best in the first half, so we don't have to go out and win one for the Gipper. Let's just go out and play our best football and win one for us.
And some room to maneuver. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. That one 28 yards on the ground.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game. To pass, here's Jordan Love. That's to Kraft, the tight end. And the Packers are going to have a first and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on second and goal?
Jacobs again, but he will go backwards as he stopped for a loss.
Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss, and now it's third down.
Come on, set.
Throwing, Love.
Now swing pass for Dillon.
And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay.
A.J. Dillon
from 6 yards away.
And the Packers have taken the lead as they go right down the field and score on the opening drive of the second half.
McManus's point after is good, and that makes it a 17-10 score. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away.
And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive.
Well, Charles, you and I said at intermission, feels like we're set up for a good second half. Well, the other side scored. Now it's up to them to answer. How do they respond here with their first drive of the second half?
Well, bottom line is they just saw the ball go in the end zone against their defense, and they saw what good offense looks like. They believe they've got a good offense as well. Run the best plays you've got to the top performers you have and try to move that ball down the field for an answering score. This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
19 Tiger. Roll, roll, roll. 79 Bronco. Mustang 19.
Throwing here, Purdy.
Flushed out right. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they've brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
Panther 11.
Back to throw, Purdy.
And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
Here comes the 49ers punter now as he'll kick it away for the second time. And this will be taken at the 13. Well, that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Packer drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other. Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after their last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
Set, ready.
Now Love. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time.
It's Jair Brown who's got it. That's such a costly interception, nearly a pick six, but now they're so close they are knocking on the door for a touchdown.
And I never want to get on any team for being aggressive because that's part of what their makeup is, and oftentimes it's successful. But in this case, you've got to be selective about it and make sure you take care of the football. That interception almost cost them 6 points. Now their defense has to run onto the field.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a San Francisco touchdown.
Christian McCaffrey taking it in from 2 yards out. And the 49ers take the interception on defense and convert it into 6 points. Now Moody for the PAT.
And he gets it to go, and we're all even, 17 apiece. 17-17 the score. All even to this point as the kick's away.
And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. The interception on the last drive proved costly, led to the tying score, so 17 all as they come up on a first down. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game.
45 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. They need 2. Here's 3rd down.
Love looking to throw it. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line.
So rare to see any quarterback toss back-to-back interceptions in the NFL, regardless of status or experience. Whether it's him personally or just the offensive game plan, I think this defense is reading something out there, and they're holding the upper hand.
Here we go, Shaq.
They'll try to get the running game going with McCaffrey. And he's got 4 down inside the 20 to the 18. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Second and 6. And Purdy, he's going to shift them around into something else. Another run with McCaffrey on 2nd down.
And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. And now they'll shift things around. Purdy looking to throw.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. And his kick is good. And with that, they take the lead here, 20-17. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line.
And they really need to forget about their last time out, the turnover that led to a field goal. So now they try to regroup, trailing in the final quarter. Obviously, they'd love a touchdown, but 3 would suffice.
The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there, not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
And he'll work down inside the 45.
I think if we put together a job description for a middle linebacker, we would start with being able to hold down things in the middle of the line of scrimmage and be able to take on blockers. But how about the guys who can go sideline to sideline and make plays?
Love a guy that can do that. We saw a perfect example of it right there. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. A field goal from this spot likely out of the question. They've got to get closer here on 3rd down. To throw now, here's Love. And that's intercepted yet again, and that could be the backbreaker. Picked off by Fred Warner. Past the 20, 5, and into the end zone. A pick 6 for the 49er D as they score the touchdown. So a dangerous pass over the middle into zone coverage, and it bit him hard.
And what's really difficult when you throw it in that direction and versus that zone, that means the linebackers have gotten to their spot, gotten their heads back around, and they can see the quarterback and everything in front of them. And they took big advantage of it, went the other direction. Excellent blocking, and picked up a touchdown.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And they can't bring him down. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And we'll see if they can band back together after the pick 6. It hurt badly, but still within striking distance. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by Talanoa Hufanga. And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line. Well, all I can do up here is just shake my head. I mean, 6 interceptions. I cannot imagine what he's thinking between the ears right now.
Well, just think of how it is for his teammates, because after the first few, you know they're going over to him, hey, we'll get them next time. Now they're probably a little bit frustrated. And if you're a receiver, you're thinking to yourself, any ball that's in the air, you become receiver and defensive back. You've got to go compete for the ball so that you don't get another one picked off.
The 20. And he almost made it, but just short. Finally out of bounds, right down around the goal line. 68 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. McCaffrey will score. Touchdown, 49ers.
Well, we talk a lot about Christian McCaffrey and what he can do in the open field, and it's easy to gloss over how tough he can be to stop near the goal line. And he shows you just how tough he is on that carry as he takes it into the end zone.
Extra point try now for Moody.
And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17.
So after the made field goal by Moody, he's back out to kick this one away. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line.
About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Line of scrimmage, the 24. This is 2nd and 6.
Let's go.
Looking to throw. Love throwing the out route incomplete. It's Reed. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a first.
Here we go.
Back to throw now on first down. He finds his man, complete. It's Jacobs. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
Well, Brandon, we could see that play developing, and they were hoping that he was going to be able to put a move on the first guy and turn it into a big play. But no such luck. The speed on defense continues to get better and better in the NFL. Pretty nice example there of those guys being able to run from their assignments and finish off that play.
A good-looking drive for the Packers so far. It's a first down.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
To the air again, Love. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Diamador Lenore. And the Niners are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line. The number 7 usually lucky here, not for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw him, he'd won a Heisman Trophy in college, so sometimes you just have a lousy game. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad career, but when you're talking about one game, 7, you're right, not lucky at all.
Yeah, Ty Detmer the last to do it in 2001 to throw 7 picks. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down. That one looks like he'll throw here. Connects with Kittle underneath. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. First down, San Francisco. The pickup, 14 yards. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game.
18 Cardinal, 18 Cardinal, 19 Lion, 70 Timberwolf.
Purdy will set up to throw it here. This one caught by Kittle. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. Oh, now look at this. They're lining up to add 3 more, a little insult to injury here late in the game. And this is going to be no good. He missed it off to the left, and the lead will stay put at 17.
Boy, that's 3 points you really expect to have. That's nothing more than a lack of concentration to me, because an NFL kicker should make this kick in his sleep.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Throwing to start the drive. Love. He's going to let it fly. And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in. 2nd and 10.
Ready.
Back to throw. Love. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining. We've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
And they just took a timeout with 2 seconds to go. This one obviously decided. Not sure they needed to take it, but we'll take it with them. Now this aired out deep for Reed. And that is going to officially draw the curtain on this one as the last throw intercepted. Picked up by Charvarius Ward. And the 49ers come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over. Well, this was a very close ball game at halftime, Charles, but in the second half, that offense kind of kicked things into another gear, and they were able to pull away for the victory.
And Brandon, I think they're the type of team that just looked in the mirror and said, hey, ton of pressure on, but we're the type of team that can flat out handle it. They stood up with confidence, and made it happen for a victory.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. The 49ers get the win here at home as we say so long from Santa Clara.
All right, homie.